And here I am once again starting an episode fishing. This time I am on the bridge that I made between episode 1 and 2. I just thought it'd be a nice change from the fishing dock. And in today's episode, I will be attacking this behind me. Now I haven't done a whole lot in between episodes in this world because I've been in a creative world learning the Axiom mod, which is what I used to help create a mountain that I'm going to be replacing that mountain with. Now, the Axiom mod is an amazing mod. It has definitely saved me so much time in just creating the mountain itself. And this will for sure be the biggest project that I have ever done in this game. I think just stone block wise, it's around 15,000 blocks. And just to kind of show you guys the kind of size that I'm working with here, I'm going to show you the Lightmatica schematic that I have for it real fast. And there it is. I believe it reaches up to Y level 139. And unfortunately, that's probably only about a third of what the actual mountain's going to be. I have it basically spanning from here, or actually I can just show you guys. I have it spanning from here, and the schematic ends about here, not too far away from the shop that we built last episode. And again, you can see how high up the mountain is. And again, it's only going to be probably 1/3 of what my actual plan is for the entire mountain. Now, the mountain isn't just for looks. I do have plans to put some farms in there. One being a moss farm, which I'm probably going to have to build beforehand because there's a lot of moss in this build. I also do plan on having a kind of like hot springs up at the top of the waterfall. And I kind of want to make it to where that's where I have my mending villagers at. I just think it'd be a cool area to put them. And it'd be a reason to, visit the hot springs. Now, obviously, I'm not going to finish this entire schematic in just this episode. Because this episode wouldn't come out for probably a month from episode 2. And that's just because of all the materials that I'm going to have to get for this alone. But I also have to clear out a bunch of trees. As you can see, they're in the way. And I have a lot of kind of harder materials I need to get. Like, this is pretty much all white glass, white stained glass. There's a lot of coarse dirt. And I'm gonna have to find a lot of tough blocks as well. As I'm building, this third of the mountain, I do plan on taking breaks in between and kind of, building other things, like probably this path over to that mountain I'm going to start working on as well. Maybe some more custom trees that I can put back here, as well as working on the path there. And I still have a lot of the river that I do need to work on as well. Not only just that side, but just kind of under the water. So there's still a lot to do, and I'm definitely not getting this done that soon. This is probably gonna take a couple episodes just because I don't want to burn myself out from just this alone. I want to also do some other things around the area. So with that said, the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting rid of all these trees on this mountain. And don't worry, I'm not going to put you guys through me doing that. Maybe a couple, clips, but not the entire thing. Was able to get all the trees done that interfere with the schematic of the build. While getting rid of the trees, I also built a 15 by 15 hole that is somewhere around 45 to 50 blocks deep. This is where I plan on building my moss farm. I want to kind of stack levels onto it. And this down here, I found a YouTube video to build this. Unfortunately, this is a 1.21.11 moss farm. And I am in 121.10. So it's not working. So I'm going to have to get rid of this and figure out another farm to build. I really need to get bubble elevators. It's just taking forever. I also made a lava farm. Just a small one because I know these moss farms do take lava. So that's why I built it right here. I also did a little bit of mining while cutting down the trees. This is all the dirt that I kind of had to get rid of right here because they were interfering with other blocks for the schematic. These are all the logs that I got. I almost have 3 double stack chests full of stone, which is not nearly enough that I need. Here's some coarse dirt, some other cobblestone deep slate that I have in the build, gravel for the coarse dirt, and some andesite. I need some more andesite. I also need to obviously get my moss farm going so I can start farming that. But I also need to go this direction and collect a bunch of snow blocks for the top of the mountain. All right, so I lied. This moss farm actually does work. I just forgot to right click this right here. I'm very smart and I listen to directions very well, as you can tell. This farm should be self-efficient. It should be making its own bone meal. Hopefully it doesn't run out of bone meal while making it. Oh no, we're doing good. Oh yeah, it's fine. That's already a couple stacks. Wow. Well, I'm glad that's working now. I can actually now AFK and, get moss without having to do it by hand. I will link the video that I used down below in the description, so if any of you guys want to use it. I believe it works for 1.21. I don't know how far back, but it does work for the newest update from my understanding. Again, I really need to make a bubble elevator. This is taking forever. I mean, and this is only maybe, I don't know, a quarter of what it produced, and I was sitting there for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, if that. So I don't know if I'm going to necessarily need to have more than one layer of that farm, but I mean, we'll see in the future. Moss is a very important block when it comes to building, especially in terrain. But I'll definitely have to be visiting that farm again throughout this build with this mountain. I've actually decided to kind of wait on getting those snow blocks just because at the very top of the mountain. And it's just at this point right now, it's not very important. And I kind of want to get started. And I just realized I don't have that many tough blocks. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just going to probably start here and kind of just work up on this side and see where I can get for right now. This section didn't take as long as I thought it would. It took me about 40 minutes to do. I got all the way from the base here to where the giant hole is for the moss farm. I did have to take a quick pause in the middle to go grab more tuff. Where's that at? I ran out really fast, and when I got up to that stone section, I needed it to actually progress through the layers. But I'm kind of surprised it's not taken me as long as I thought it would. Obviously, I didn't do any of this part, so that's probably why, because I'm doing it section by section, so it feels quicker than if I were to just do the whole entire layer at a single time. Hi, bee. As you can see from a distance, you know, it's looking good. I have an idea. So kind of where the path is right here next to the house. I think I'm going to have it go behind the waterfall right here. And then up to here. And then probably wrap around this kind of, you know, bend of the mountain, I guess. And then go back up to where the entrance will be for the moss farm and then the quote unquote hot springs up there. I did have a little scare while up here. I had an infinite water source and I was clearing out the grass area, or I was clearing out grass blocks, and I didn't see the infinite water source and it started to fall down into the moss farm. Luckily, only those 3 redstone dust were affected, so I'm glad I didn't have to rebuild that. I'm going to take a quick pause from working on the mountain, and I'm actually going to start working on the path and extending it out towards that area over there. And that's going to involve a lot more cutting down trees. I really like how the waterfall turned out. Obviously, I still have some cleaning up to do around the edges as well as kind of up there with some more of just rock formation, but overall, I'm happy with the results. Now along the path here, I also started adding in the flowers. This is kind of the idea that I wanted with this area. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add in some like smaller trees behind to kind of make it blend in with the mountain a little bit more. It's definitely gonna go up probably another couple blocks, so it'll be another tier higher. But right now I just don't have enough, and I just got to go get the rest. But this was kind of the idea that I had for this area, probably till about right here. I might add another section of flowers. We'll see, maybe roses again, but I'm not really sure. And then along the path, I'm gonna probably just make some custom trees and make a entirely custom forest from this point on outward that way. As you can see in the little time lapse that you guys saw, I was having some trouble with getting the path the way I wanted it to. I'm happy with how it is now, and I'm gonna basically continue it going this way. My overall plan is to make another split kind of in front of this mountain where I'm gonna have it split to the left, and that's how it's gonna connect to up there. And I'm also going to build a bridge from this side of the river to that side of the river. And that's how you'd get over to that side. So that's kind of my idea for the path and the where I wanted to go. And as you guys saw, I was able to complete most of this kind of portion of the mountain. The reason I stopped is because I ran out of tuff again. My off camera, I'm going to start, you know, gathering more of the resources and also work on continuing the riverbank as well. Just because I did that in episode 1, I don't want to, you know, do it in another episode. What is going on here? I don't know. He had too much hay this morning. Probably about right here as well is when I'll also start with a custom forest from this point that way. But overall, I think this is a good stopping point for this episode. The mountain isn't going to take as much time as I thought, so I should be able to get it done next episode. I want to thank everybody who has made it to this point in the video and for all the support that you guys have been giving me. So with that, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.